Hey, it's the Chubby Bartender Podcast with your host, Jason Gillum and Chad Reynolds. With a special guest each week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I'm clapping. We're live. There it is. We're live. We're live. Now we're back for part two.
Down part
Sitting
two.
back two. Everybody, Chad's got his bladder empty.
Part one was so good.
We're
Damn
doing
it, here
two.
we
We're doing
go.
two.
Yep.
We're doing two.
We're going to part two now.
Hey, what'd you think of BJ's?
Hey, but that was good.
That's good, wasn't it? I thought I was telling Tyler BJ was well spoken.
Yeah, he was. I got a lot of feedback on that.
I did too. Yep.
And I'll tell you, a lot of real positive feedback about, particularly part two. I mean, his music part was great, but part two, man, I mean, he really spoke to some guys.
Sure.
That are around our age and that have really been affected by the pandemic, or not the pandemic, Jesus, the opioid epidemic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Who's BJ? Not to interrupt.
BJ Bill Wildman.
He was our last
BJ
guest.
Wildman. Yeah, he was our last guest, and the thing that BJ did that and he obviously Bill, yeah, that's right. He cracked at us. The thing that Bill did, that was cool is he really allowed us to share. He took a deep dive in his personal journey, and I mean that man battled opioid addiction, and he is one of the rare guys. He's been 10 years clean, man.
That's awesome.
And
I enjoyed the story.
And he came on and he shared, some things that helped him to do that. And I mean, I just felt really good about the fact that we were able to give him
Well, I'll tell you what,
a place to talk about
that beats it, come on the show.
Come on the show.
I want to hear
man.
more about people beating it than I want to do people dying.
Oh man, I'll tell you, that was it was just inspirational.
Yeah, it was.
And he took it real light. I mean, it was it was light. Everybody was, nobody was sitting here crying or anything. It was very light.
No.
I mean, that's just what
he was telling me.
Bill's a great talker.
He was telling me the whole group watched it out. The whole band watched it together out to his dad's.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome.
But I want to hear,
So now let's talk about the business.
Well, kind of the lead into that was he picked up a hobby and it kind of took over and helped him with his addiction. But you took over, originally a hobby, right?
You really had no intention.
I wasn't even making it for a hobby to begin with. I was making it out of need because you couldn't even find anything.
Yeah, okay. So,
but yeah,
it turns into a hobby. But so I want to hear about, not necessarily product wise. We covered that in part one, but I want to hear about, business process, because this is a hot topic as far as like, I kind of look at you as one of those custom guys that, that is, you have a nice, a great designed product that's customized for, a healthier beard, and it's a healthy product. And so you had to take that and then you had to turn that into a business. Okay. Right. And then, so maybe how you did that out of your basement. And I mean, what can guys expect to be thrown?
Where did this go from?
Media? I'm not going to lie.
Like, where did it go
kind of
from
turned
Ron
itself into a business.
Well, okay. So like, at what point was it like, all right, I'm making this stuff for Ron and my beard. Now, hey, you know what? Some other people kind of like this.
At what
point did you say, hey, look, man, I'm going to commercialize this thing?
Well, I knew there was a need in the beginning anyway, because I couldn't find anything, and I thought, I know there's other people that are
looking,
would be looking or would definitely buy it or benefit from it, if they knew it existed,
right?
And so after I already had the website, and it was live, which there was no activity because nobody. A lot of people still don't know who we are.
You started off with a website, to establish your product. So, would you say that's like the first thing to do?
Yeah. Well,
did you do it yourself?
Create your own products first.
Okay,
don't knock off other people's stuff.
Right.
Don't try to backdoor and take people's customers. I've been through all of it. I mean, there's some snakes out there.
Yeah.
Do your own thing. Build your own brand. Build your own stuff from ground up.
So you had the product first.
Yeah.
And then you said, okay, I'm going to build a website.
Yeah.
Did you do that yourself? Did you get some help in there?
There's a guy that I knew that had just finished school for that kind of tech stuff, and
his name was Tyler Gillum.
Well, I can probably still use you, man, because I'm barely graduated from Benton County, so
that's the number one drawback, I think, to a lot of these people's kicking off the ground. There's people with great ideas,
and they don't know how to get it out to people.
Or they got it in their head and can't get it out their hands. I mean,
I'll be honest with you. This thing doesn't even get off the ground without Tyler Gillum.
No. Totally changed our whole.
Totally changed everything. This thing does not get off the ground without an IT guy.
Right.
I mean, you almost need a buddy.
So
and you had one.
So I had one, and he told me, he said, "Yeah, I've set up on the Wix platform before." He said it's easy, and I was like, "I'm completely in the dark, man." Completely in the dark.
Yeah.
I can set up a new email, and sometimes that's not right. But I make really good beard products, though.
Right.
But anyway, so he met with me one day and set up, all the basic stuff and loaded a couple pictures, which it wasn't live yet then, but and he was showing me this, and I pestered him to death for weeks after that, because I was like, this just don't work when I try to load this, and which part of that is Wix. They've made improvements over the years, but Shopify, I have a website 99% done.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get the final pictures and stuff uploaded. And it is so much. I can go live on my own side like a customer would.
Yeah.
So much easier. I get messages every week still to this day where people can't find something on my site because it's just, when I started it, it was so hard to make a category and so hard to split that down to, under this section have mustache wax and have this.
But you ran with it, right?
Well, I ran with it.
You're like, here we go. I'm flipping the switch. We're taking this thing live.
Well, I'll tell you, I did do that. But when it really hit me that, hey, this could be something, was my sister was the business teacher over here at Jackson High School.
Okay.
And they were having a little craft bazaar in one of the gyms. Lisa Walker.
That's your sister-in-law?
That's my sister. My sister.
That's your sister?
Yep. Lisa Sowers.
Lisa, oh my goodness gracious. Here we go. All right. I know you, dude.
She just left.
Yeah, I know you,
She just left there last year for a different position outside the school.
Yeah.
But she said, you should set up a table down here or something. I didn't even have a tablecloth for the plastic table. Seriously, I didn't.
Yeah, right.
And I went up, sat down there. I think it was $25 to get in.
Yeah.
And sold $600 worth of stuff in like 5 hours.
Wow.
And I was like, I had beard oil, beard balm, one hat, one comb, and I think 4 ounces.
All ski scent.
I don't even know if I'd made that yet or not. I don't think I'd made that yet because the ski scent came from Yukon.
Oh, okay.
Holzapple.
Okay.
He started messing around with my stuff, and he said, "Man, Dad wants to know if you think you can duplicate the smell of ski." And I said, "I'll give it a try."
Yeah.
And so the first time I got back a hold of him, I gave him like 2 or 3 bottles that were just a little bit different.
Yeah.
He said, "I think it's number 3 might be it." I said, "Let me take it and just tweak a little bit more."
Yeah.
And I gave him that next one. He said, "Dude, this is it."
Yeah.
So
what was your first scent? Like when you went to Jackson High School for this thing? Like
my very first scent was probably the one that was originally called Pine Sap, which had pine in it, obviously, but it had a couple other things blended. I don't even make that recipe now. I still have all the recipes.
Yeah.
But I don't.
But it's a highly organized thing to like you're developing a recipe. And
oh my goodness!
Are you patenting that? I mean,
no, you
don't. Really
as far as I know, you really can't even protect something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
anybody
get it out
in the market and go.
So
try to create a loyal customer.
So when I hit that sale like that, I was like, wow, I'm definitely not the only one that needed some kind of this product.
It's a cool, I don't want to say gimmick, but it's a cool, like, it grabs you.
I got to feel like, Ron, and you can speak to this. Like, I gotta feel like you kind of were right place, right time.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
I mean, we run it back to like 2000,
But by accident.
2016. Well,
I mean,
you grew a beard, right? But like honestly, like you came into this, man, like right when that was getting hot, and they're probably like you said, you couldn't find that stuff.
No men's grooming products.
Not hard to find now.
No.
I mean, but like you hit that,
go to Walmart
and you
and
put
they've got
yourself in the mix.
All kinds of stuff sitting on their shelf that's factory made, imported, and who knows what.
Yeah.
And I have customers
Beard
all the
flags.
time that
Beard
come.
drift.
Yeah. Customers all the time that come to my table that say that they use brand X or whatever from this department store, and that they're still itchy, they're still flaky. My wife don't like the smell of it. The texture's greasy, whatever. And then they pick out a scent they like in my stuff, oil or balm or whatever. And next thing I know, at a show a month or two later, I see them again, or they come through on a web order. And I mean, it speaks for itself. I just figured out, I guess, good recipes for the product and the scent. But
so after you had this deal like that your sister hooked you up with, did that kind of put you on the path of, all right, I'm gonna work these shows? And you started.
Well, I didn't even
shows,
know. Yeah, I didn't even know what kind of shows were really available. Like that I do now. Of course, some of the shows that I do now, if you would have told me how many people was going to be at them and how much it cost to get in back then, it would have scared me to death.
Right.
I mean, like when they say there's 20,000 people going to walk through here this weekend, past your table, I would have lost it. I would have been like, I can't make that much stuff.
Well, what kind of shows are we looking at? Like, are we looking at like
beauty shows?
Yeah, beauty shows, like barber kind of shows.
No,
or
not
like,
really.
What are these shows?
They're
hunting shows. I bet you go to like.
We just did what used to be called the Deer and Turkey Expo.
Yeah. What's it called now?
They've changed the name.
Like something.
No, they changed it again. It's the Outdoor Sportsman.
I wish I'd have known about that. I didn't even know about
the outdoor Sportsman something this year. Okay. That's the first year it's been called that.
I didn't even see it. I went to that in a hot minute.
Yep. It was last year. It was postponed, I think, twice, and then finally canceled. This year they stuck with the original date and had it, which was just 2 weeks ago.
It's a great form of entertainment. Going to like a vendor show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the thing, though. Most of the shows, you were asking what these shows are. Most of them are what is called in that world upscale vendor shows.
Okay.
They're not flea markets. They're not yard sales.
No, of course not.
Well, no, I'm just telling you. That stuff's out there.
Okay.
But that's not what these are.
Yeah.
These are, more high-end handmade products,
so
whether it's barn signs or...
When you're developing your business and you're trying to target shows or to get this thing going, like what are you looking at? Like, all right, man, like what is a place where like there'll be dudes walking through there with beards? Or like,
well, the funny part about that is I go to these shows with lots of, handmade craft people, and the good part about what I fell into is it spans a gap that is unbelievable.
Everybody's got a beard.
I can go to, there's a show that's actually, they have 3 a year that are blowouts. They're huge. It's called Charm at the Farm, and it's in Lebanon. Okay. And it is all the high-end shoppers, they come to buy, not look.
Yeah.
All the ladies are walking around in their, whatever those
cashmeres,
$80, $90 rain boots are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is that crowd.
Yeah.
And at all those shows, I sell 75% of my products to the women without the guy.
There is a wide variety of products at these shows where you're...
But some of those vendor shows like that I go to, probably 90% of the vendors that are there with me could not go to the Deer and Turkey Expo and pull it off.
There you go. Yeah.
But we still can. So that's what I'm saying. It bridges this gap that is huge. I mean, I've done
a general product.
I've done shows that at least half of those people couldn't do that variety of, just because their products would be, I mean, they wouldn't sell anything.
Well, Ron, was there a lot of trial and error that went into that? Like, did you go to some shows that were bombs?
Oh yeah,
like you're like, man, this was not good.
Yeah, I've done some bomb out shows.
So this took some time.
Oh yeah, I mean, my list has definitely evolved. of what ones you definitely try to get back into.
Are you gone every weekend?
Not every weekend. Starting in September, it really cranks up.
Now,
Yeah.
do you have to go all of them yourself, or do you have some employees that help you out? Or?
I've got 4 other guys that know all my products inside and out.
Okay.
And sometimes we double book. There's a show at the Round Barn in Lancaster on the fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
There's a show there twice a year, and we do both of those. And I had been doing that one every year. Well, then I got invited to, and that's at this point, the business a lot of times gets invited now to shows that we've not done.
Okay. People are reaching out
word
to
of
you
mouth
at this point.
or
yeah.
or somebody's putting on that show.
Yeah.
That has been a vendor with me at another show.
Okay.
And they see, how good we do.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and they think that we would be a good fit for their show when they're putting one on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of invites.
Yeah.
But that's where you have to navigate the waters and figure out. You try to research their past shows best you can.
Yeah.
See what kind of foot traffic there was, what kind of crowd there is. But Backwoods Fest, I don't know if you've heard of that in Thornville.
I don't
Huge.
think so.
That's our record show still.
So Ron, though, like when you're looking for a target show, I mean, like there's not like I'm sure there is now. Like there's probably men's grooming shows, but what do you? How do you target what shows?
Or are you?
Yeah,
I mean, have you?
yeah,
Not really too much. I've had lots of just friends and family that had went to Backwoods Fest, the one I just mentioned.
yeah.
And they were like, you have got to try to go to that show. They said, we walked around for 3 hours and never saw one beard oil. And there's 400 vendors there.
See,
spread
the
through the
cool
woods
thing
and through
about
the field.
your product is like
People encourage me.
It can dovetail
They find
into
me
so
places
many
to go.
different- Yeah, yeah. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, the professor at the college has one, as well as the welder down at the plant.
Yeah, that's what I
Right.
mean. Like,
Yeah.
it can dovetail into
And the
so many
doctor
different
and
shows. I mean,
And sometimes his wife.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
yeah.
now let's talk about this. Like, if you're doing shows, okay, where that hits me in my mind, and I could be totally wrong. Like, if you're going to do shows where you're bringing product on hand, right? Like, dude, you've got to have an amount of inventory that must be crazy for you to start the year, right?
I'm not
or
a good.
is it?
I'm not a good
constant-
swimmer. I'm great at treading water.
Okay, you just do it as it goes.
I fly by the seat of my pants, man.
Okay, okay.
We just did that Deer and Turkey Expo, and I was telling the people that came on Friday, I said over 50% of what is sitting here on the table was made in the last 3 days.
Wow.
I mean, like
Okay.
I run the ragged edge most of the time.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, I don't
does
have
it
any
ever get
old
to a point-
product.
Does it ever get to a point where you don't have product, like you sell out at that show and you just drive them to your website to take orders?
Yeah, but
or-
I'm going to tell you right now, one of my biggest hates in the world is running out of product at a show,
Okay.
even if it's 1 cent.
So you're an inventory guy, man. You're always going to have it on hand.
Because here's why. And even if they're a past customer, which raises the odds, but if I ran out of D's Nuts
Yeah.
beard balm
Yeah.
at a show,
Right.
and I say, I do make my product, so if you go on there tonight and order one
You'll have it.
online,
Yeah.
that will be shipped within the next couple days
Yeah.
because I'm going to make it.
Right.
75% probably won't go place that order.
Yeah. So it's like
It's an impulse.
when they want it.
They want it right in
You
their
got-
hand.
okay.
Yep. So when I pack for shows, there's usually at least two full plastic tubs that are probably, I don't know, they're about 3 foot long by 20 inches wide, and they hold 2 beard bombs high.
Okay.
I don't even know how many actually fits in there. It's probably over 100 and some.
Yeah.
But there's at least 2 of those that are maxed out.
Yeah.
Sometimes a third one, like for Backwoods Fest or
Right.
places.
Yeah.
And then 2 full oil tubs, also the same size.
Okay.
And then the cologne is usually in one of those.
Yeah.
Another tub that has all the shaving products in it.
Yeah.
I carry safety razors that are the old
Oh,
double-sided.
I love it. Yeah.
I have straight razors in 2 different woods that take
Do you do a
replaceable
mug and
blades.
brush?
I do a mug and brush.
God bless you.
I've got it's a ceramic coated camp cup
Yeah.
with our hipster logo on one side
yeah.
and kind of retro hippie logo on the other side.
Beauty. That's awesome, dude.
And it comes with a shaving puck, and a boar's hair brush.
Yeah.
And then I also got in some higher end shaving brushes here last fall. That is an upgrade option on the shave set too.
This guy.
So that's we literally carry everything.
All right. So now listen though. There was a time when that started too. Okay. So like, all right, you start figuring out these shows. Early on, that was probably your chief source of income. The shows.
Yeah.
Am I fair to say that?
I probably had the website up. I'm guessing I didn't really see any orders per se on the website till probably September of that year, 15.
Do you think the shows kind of helped?
Definitely
got that rolling.
Every order. I've always been a sticker guy too. Yeah. So as soon as this happened, I had to get stickers made right off the bat.
Yeah.
And
you give them away.
I give them away. Every web order gets a sticker and a business card and a free sample. Of a scent you didn't buy.
There you go.
If you bought 2 beard bombs, say you bought High Stakes and Suit and Tie, I'll throw in like Wingman or something.
What are your samples? What size are your samples? Are they
the beard bomb samples are about 1/4 of an ounce, and the oil samples I think are 3 milliliters.
Totally different packaging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the beard oil samples are this exact thing shrunk down to the size of my pinky finger.
Okay.
About that tall. And then the beard balm samples, I just switched. They looked exactly like this, only tiny.
Yeah.
And they've been impossible to get. So I just switched to some shorter ones that are clear, but it's still it's 1/4 ounce. I have OCD, ADHD, and every other D that you can think of, probably.
Yeah.
So
So, which is probably why you made it.
Well, I think it's the consistency of my products. Definitely is part of why I've made it.
Yeah.
Every single thing I make goes on a digital scale to the gram.
So, like, if I buy this now, and then buy it again in 6 months, it's the same product.
The exact same. I just told somebody the other day, I said, you can buy this beard balm right here today. 2 years from now, if you buy High Stakes again, it's going to be the exact freaking same thing in your hand. It's going to melt the same. It's going to feel the same.
That's important.
Yes. People don't like stuff that's jacked up. I know there's some companies out there that people come to me and say, your beard balm is so smooth. When I start to melt it down, it's just literally like butter. It just starts melting and there's nothing in it. No grit. Well, some companies, and I'm not going to give out the secret why, but there's a process, there's a thing during the process of making beard balm that you can get off a little bit, and causes grittiness and causes clumping and stuff that, but I've been told by several reviewers that I have one of the smoothest beard balms in the business.
Well, all right. So you obviously decided in your business plan that
I still don't have a business plan.
Ron, don't tell him that.
Okay. All right. I just said I wing it. Remember?
Yeah, right. No, all right. But what I'm saying is, whether you have a business plan or not, one of your core values or your core principles, if I'm hearing you correctly, is you're going to create a superior product, even at the sacrifice of being able to create more or whatever. Like, you're going to create a superior, repeatable product.
Same every time.
You're not going to outsource stuff to foreign lands to get it in quick and sell it at the same price. And I think that's a decision you make in business. And I think with the type of business you are doing, that's very important. No?
Yeah.
I mean, like, your customers will know. Like, if I've been buying that beard balm or that beard oil or this cologne, and I've been buying it for 2-3 years, if you start outsourcing pieces of that, I'll probably realize that. Correct?
If you pay attention, I would say you immediately know it.
And that's probably something that's very important to you.
It is.
And I
take customer satisfaction extremely high.
And will you sacrifice growth for that principle?
No.
I mean, well, what I'm saying is, like,
now,
you'd rather get them a good product than sell
scale.
1,000 more of them.
You know, because a lot of
right.
these things, you know, it's like, do you get in them for scale,
Right.
or do you get in them for, you know,
the quality organic
yeah.
product?
Yeah.
And a lot of the people we've had on here do similar things. I mean, they're all about, I'm doing this right. You
But
know.
in saying that, I am not going to be above using, I guess, eventually what is called co-packers or whatever. But here's the thing. They will have to show me
that they're quality.
that what they're putting out with my
It'll be
recipe
the most
is
important
the
thing.
exact same
Yeah,
quality,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
same scent, same everything before
as
that
business
deal
grow, that
ever
happens,
goes
but
down.
you'll be the guy that goes in there and
I'll be
samples
the
it and says this is
QC
it, you know?
guy
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they don't
yeah.
want to see
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I am so picky.
Yeah.
That is another part, I think, of my products.
Yeah.
I am so picky about everything in life, pretty much.
So like, all right, this is great. Let me add to this. What would you say are maybe the 1, 2, 3 biggest things that have made you successful in this business? What core principles or values would you say, like, other than like what you're saying, it's going to be repeatable.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like what is most important to you?
I would say number one is honesty, because I was raised that you didn't really have to have a contract, that if you shook somebody's hand and told them you were going to do something, that's what you did.
Yeah.
And the world doesn't operate that way. But my wife tells me all the time that I get taken advantage of because I still believe everybody does stuff like I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that can be a downfall on one side, but I believe honesty.
Well, that's a good.
I believe
yeah.
quality and consistency and customer service, because first of all, I don't sleep a lot.
Obviously
I
not. Obviously not. I mean, you're doing this. Obviously,
yeah, I
you're
don't-
making this
I don't
to where you
sleep a
can
lot.
fulfill orders.
Now,
in time.
do you think that'll burn you out? Like, you know,
At 7 years in, I don't think so.
well, dude, I've been hucking and bucking for a minute, and I got burnt out. You know, I mean, I think it's now I'm maybe. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm completely burnt out, but I'm saying, like, every now and then I find myself needing a break.
Yeah.
And in your business, if you have orders, you necessarily don't get a break. In my business,
7
if I
days
need
a
a
week.
break, I just take a break.
You just got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And, you know, that kind of happened to me over the last year. I had to take a break. I had to just kind of.
Well, like, does it happen? Probably, Ron, in your business, like, you might need a break, but like, do you have to add employees, like
Yeah.
even like right now where you're not outsourcing manufacturing? Like, do you have some people you trust that'll manufacture that product?
No. Not right
You
now.
gotta do it yourself.
No, I make everything.
Okay.
Nobody else has ever made any of it.
You got to realize, bud, that candle may burn out.
Yeah.
I know. I
know.
mean, I'm sure you've thought about it.
Oh no, it's been in the process for 2 years. or longer,
I can tell that you're passionate.
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I was getting ready to say. You was talking about burning out. At my machinist job at the paper mill,
You burn.
I'm a number.
Yeah. You're burnt on it.
I'm a number.
Yeah.
I mean, you trudge into that place hating your life. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, dude, I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we were Mead Paper a long time ago, there was a little more familyness there. There was a little more pride there. And every time we've changed hands 5 times or whatever it is now, it's got worse.
Well,
and, worse
and you've
and
got
worse.
bit by the bug of you're seeing some
success.
Yeah, some success with your business.
People
which
like
is,
your product,
starts
dude.
to kind of get your wheels. I mean,
Yeah.
that totally shifts your mindset. It has to.
Well, and what I was saying about the burnout is I love this stuff.
I know you do. Yeah.
I mean, this is my passion. No, I'm not saying I
You
don't
can tell.
like the machine. I do like the machine, but not as a clock in number.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
Like,
I would love to have a little lathe and milling machine and stuff at my house.
where you're doing it for Ron Sowers.
Yeah, for
And
tinkering
not-
around with my
not
cars
X company.
and whatever.
Yeah.
But that would be a whole different thing. But no, this is, I mean, like when I take and I get burnt out per se. I
Yeah,
mean,
you'd have to.
but we hadn't had a show. My last show was the first weekend in December until 2 weeks ago at the Deer and Turkey Expo. And when I go back out there and I meet some of
Recharges you.
these customers for the first time that's been buying online for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
And they say their name because every order comes through my hands.
Yeah. You
And I
know their
see I
names.
see every name. This guy just came to the show and he said, I bought from you the first time ever. they hadn't had the Deer and Turkey Expo for 2 years, and he thinks it wasn't the year before that; it was the one before that. And he said, "I've used nothing but yours since." His red beard was clear down to his belly button.
Oh my!
And he said, "I order from you all the time." And I said, "What's your name?" And he told me his name, and I was like, "Dude, you keep me running."
Yeah.
No, I mean seriously. He's
met
one
him for the first time.
He's one. Yeah, face to
weeks ago.
face.
2 weeks
When
ago.
he bought from us before, my dad was helping me at that show.
Yeah.
And we were buried, and Dad was on the other end of the table and helped that guy. And he told me, he said, "I think it was your dad that checked me out
Isn't that cool?
that day." Yeah.
Oh,
And he
dude,
came.
that's awesome.
And I told him,
Yeah.
I said. And he kind of laughed when I said that. I said, "No, I'm serious. Guys like you,
Yeah.
the order every 3 months and order $50, $60, $80 worth of stuff at a time."
That's what it's all about.
I said, "You guys keep me floating. I mean, you do." And super nice.
in this business thing, like I'd say right now, like Ron, you've got a brand that has made it.
I would agree
Like,
with
it's-
that. Like
it's-
your
I
your
mean-
brand is pretty prominent. Like,
Yeah, like-
you're talking to a guy that does not give two shits about beard oil. Okay,
Yeah,
I never will. I
Look
have
at
too many
both those.
chins.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but he's
And-
shown me some things that I'm gonna
Yeah.
start. I'm gonna start buying.
But now I'm like, man, I can't wait to dive into your website.
I can't either.
You know,
I
and just
can't
see
either.
because I'm using a Woody's.
Oh, yeah.
You turned me on to that.
Oh,
Jesus
man.
God.
I ruined people with
You
men's
did.
grooming, and now, like, you don't realize what a huckleberry you got sitting right here, bro.
Oh yeah, I
Now,
think you do.
I mean-
Yeah.
I'm not.
yeah.
I don't want to come across to anybody that I have the best products in the world. There's some.
They smell
there's,
good.
Yep.
They do smell good,
they
but
clean.
there are other great
Hey,
grooming
hey,
companies
dude.
out there.
Yeah.
Hey, I like Woody's. You know, Woody's
Yeah.
post shave.
Well,
been,
yeah, it's been great. I've used it for a long time, but
Mm-hmm.
here's what I'm saying. My God, if I've got a guy that lives, less than 30 minutes from me.
Well, sure.
that- That's
Dude,
doing this.
look
and,
at all the
and it's going
stuff.
to come on our show and everything. I mean, but hey, trust me, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in.
Look at all the products though. Like if
Yeah.
you like, what I love about all this is,
Yeah.
you don't have to go department store stuff.
No.
Like, you've got you got this. You've got. I mean, we've always got somebody. Jimmy Dan in the shoes.
Oh, yeah.
You've got
Leo Jude
soap.
and
You've
all
got
that stuff.
Kelly D's and Goodman and
Yeah.
Charm or Fab
Oh,
D's
my
and you got
goodness.
all the clothing stores and it's like man,
Oh, yeah.
you can really like help things in Appalachia. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
buy,
I try to buy small.
Yeah,
I try to.
Why
yeah.
not?
but
man?
look at the
Yeah.
look at the quality of that product.
Oh, my goodness.
And now I think, and we're kind of trying to jump into this a little bit with now we're doing more like apparel and merch, than we are like a customized product.
Right.
But I mean, I just think it's cool how hey, what you're going to get. If you got a problem, you can call or email the
Well, that's what I was saying
CEO basically
about not sleeping much. I answer every question, whether it comes in an email or a
Facebook,
message on the
Instagram,
website,
or whatever.
Facebook, Instagram.
So you take customer service very seriously.
I do. Most of that stuff's answered within, I'm going to say 5 minutes to 30 minutes max.
Now that'll
If I
be the-
see it.
that'll be the part that'll get you eventually. If you know.
I mean, my
Well, I need a
goodness.
secretary is what I need.
Yeah, you probably do.
Well, we're kind of dealing with that. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
we're getting the next amount of messages a day about people wanting to be guests. And,
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not that we do want that, but in order to reply to them in a timely manner, you almost need something to manage that.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the original thought behind part 2, of managing. You have to kind of just the main thing I've taken away from you is, boy, you jumped in.
I did.
Both feet, bud.
both
Now,
feet.
I didn't
Yeah.
quit my job.
But you
know.
but you
Well, that's
can't.
smart.
Who,
I mean,
who can?
You had a family, bud.
Yeah.
I
Now, if
mean-
you're 21,
Well, I can now,
Well, yeah.
but I'm not.
you're
Well, you got
7 years.
retirement to think about.
You're
Yeah.
7 years in, and
Yeah.
we've talked about this
Yeah,
a
oh,
dozen
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
One thing that you have to do is stay in the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't. You see a lot of people. They take that first lick, and it comes. You bomb that trade show. You have
There's it's out there.
It's out there. You're gonna bomb.
You're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have to. And you know what? I think that's key in business. Taking
Staying out.
punches in the face.
Oh, you have
and
to.
keep rolling.
You take a Tyson punch every now and
Oh,
then, but
yeah.
you got to get right back up.
I took one in on the
can't
break.
quit.
I took one on the break. I had a guy that has been with me for 6 years. Just whenever we took part
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
and he texted me, he says, "Man, I hate to do this to you, but he said I found it a little cheaper." He's had me for 7-8 years. I mean, that's a hit. But I'm not going to let it eat me.
No, you got to go.
You just
dude.
got to keep on going tomorrow.
There'll be another one tomorrow.
There'll be
dude.
another one.
And here's one thing. I mean, I don't want to keep on going and beating the point here, but
Oh, yeah, we're
one
good.
thing I'm curious about, Ron, is the shows have been very profitable for you. That's been
Yeah.
a very good thing. has there been a point yet where the online traffic and the online business outruns the shows? Or is that what you're kind of hoping for, I guess, is what I'm asking? Or do you enjoy the shows? Or
I enjoy the shows. Like I said, when they start in September, though, it is just about every weekend to Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when you get the burn.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd say.
That's only 3 months.
Here's the
Traveling's
thing.
tough, bud.
Well, almost every show I do is close to 2 hours away because you got to go where the shows are, the good shows.
First one there, last one.
You got to go where the money's at.
Yep.
You got to go to the elite, upper end shows that people are coming to buy. They charge admission at the gate. The places that people can get in for free and bring their kids to walk around, they walk around.
That's it.
They don't buy stuff. They're there because they don't have anything to do that day.
Fill up that plastic bag.
Yeah, they don't have anything to do today. So let's go down here to the.
You got a pack of Band-Aids, a tape measure, pens.
Yeah. They walk around. Hey, do you have any free samples,
Yeah.
or do you have any? And you're like, no.
What do you have? and then these vendor fairs, they started making it even worse. They started giving them a prize for like filling out a card.
Oh, the goldfish bowls or something.
Yeah, and it's like, oh God, you have just invited the worst.
Yeah, no, I want somebody that's going to buy. Yeah. But like, do you envision, or do you have a hopeful thing in your head that says, I want our online to outrun the shows? Or
I mean, I think
do you
that's
want a happy median? Or
I think that's the end game.
Okay.
Is you not want to leave the house, really?
Right.
But
you kind of miss the adrenaline.
well, I don't think I'll ever completely quit shows because there will always be probably 5 to 10 a year that you pretty much have to go to because the sales are too good.
There in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean the sales are just too good.
And man, at the end of the day, that interaction like that is probably driving a lot of the online activity.
Well, when they get to meet the maker, that makes a difference to a lot of people.
It's valuable, dude.
Yeah, they stand there and shake hands with you and talk to you for 5, 10, 15 minutes about the stuff and about how it's changed their beard and the way they look at.
And that's what keeps
just
you
their
going.
whole men's grooming, is a different thing
and see
now.
what is cool is, and I'll tell you what, man, it doesn't matter what business you're in. If you're not passionate about it,
Get out.
I mean, you are obviously very
Impersonable
passionate about.
And I'm not tooting my own horn, but there's some jerks out there that's in this market that I'm in. I mean, there's some guys that
you're a guy with the
some real
beard that
freaking
you'll sit
jerks.
there and talk to him and you'll be nice to him.
But genuinely.
Yeah.
Not just to try to get their wallet out. I don't care if they buy anything or not. I'll stand there and talk to them for
Well,
15
you're
minutes.
like, hey, man, you want to talk beards?
Yeah, we'll
and
talk
you want to
beards.
How we do it? I'll tell you.
You want to shave it off? We can help you shave it off.
Well, like we did.
We
in
just
the
don't want
first,
to. But
but like we did in the first hour, man. When we were talking, we talked about like, you'll give tips to how to grow a beard.
Oh, yeah.
Or what to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
even if they don't buy the stuff,
I'm
like
part 3.
I'll be part
3.
How to grow a beard.
How to grow a beard.
But no, man, I'll tell you, this is awesome. Ron, thanks for sharing your
Cheers,
business,
man.
dude.
I appreciate the invite, guys.
Where can they find you?
Yeah.
They can find me at thebeardedpup.com is the website. The Bearded Pup, all one word, Instagram title. The Bearded Pup Beard Oil on Facebook.
Okay.
They can email thebeardedpup@yahoo.com. They can message on the website.
Okay.
Everything's answered by me.
Okay.
Can they buy off of all those? They can go to your website and buy?
Yeah. There's a link on every page that takes them to the website. Locally, they're in Tangles in Wellston.
Yeah, you got it everywhere.
The Rusted Barn in Wellston. Totem Supply Company in Chillicothe. A couple barbershops in Columbus.
That's awesome.
Look for your product.
Just
Thanks, Ron.
trying to get it everywhere.
We greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate being here.
This is part 2. Check out part 1 if you didn't catch us in the first part, and hit that like and subscribe button.
and subscribe.
And get ready. Hey, we got Chubby merch coming up in May. It looks like, right, Tyler? Somewhere in there, somewhere in May. So we're going to be live in May.
Chubby merch.
Chubby merch.
Chubby merch.
Plus sizes. See.